Have you ever looked at a massive mansion or a shiny new sports car and thought to yourself that the person driving must be incredibly wealthy? Most of us do that every single day. We see the flash and the glitter, and we assume that's what success looks like. But here's the thing that might actually keep you up at night. The real numbers behind what people actually own versus what they owe are probably nothing like what you expect. In fact, they reveal some pretty uncomfortable truths about where most of us actually stand. Welcome to Siraz Patwari. I am so glad you are here today. If you want to finally understand the real game of money and how to win it, please hit that subscribe button and join our community. Now, before we get into the heavy stuff, I want to clear up a massive mistake that almost everyone makes. When people hear the term net worth, they usually think about their annual salary. They think if they make $200,000 a year, they must be doing great. But that is wrong. Your salary is just the speed of the car, not the size of the gas tank. You could be making $500,000 a year, but if you are spending every penny and drowning in debt, your actual net worth might be zero or even negative. Isn't that a crazy thought? Net worth is actually very simple when you strip away the big words. Take everything you own that has actual value. That is your house, your car, your savings, and your investments. Now, subtract everything you owe to other people, your mortgage, your car loans, and that nagging credit card debt. What is left over? That tiny or large number is your true financial health. It is your net worth. Let's look at a quick example to make this real. Imagine you own a beautiful home worth $400,000. You drive a nice $30,000 car. You have some cash in the bank and maybe some stocks totaling another $20,000. On paper, you are looking at $450,000 in assets. You feel like a king, right? But then reality kicks in. You still owe $280,000 on the house. You owe $15,000 on the car, and because life happens, you have about $8,000 in credit card debt. That is over $300,000 you owe to the bank. When you do the math, your real net worth is only $147,000. It is still a good number, but it is a lot less impressive than that initial $500,000 you thought you had. This is exactly why so many people have a distorted view of their lives. They focus on what they own, but they forget to account for what they owe. The Federal Reserve actually tracks this data every 3 years. They look at every American household to see where we really stand. And let me tell you, the results are a total eye-opener. The most recent data shows that the average net worth for an American household is about $748,000. Now, before you start feeling bad about yourself, wait, there is a huge catch with that number. That average is completely skewed by the super rich. When you have billionaires like Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett in the mix, their mountains of cash pull the average way up. It is like saying the average height in a room is 7 feet just because one basketball player walked in. To see the truth, we have to look at the median. The median is the middle point. It means half of the people have more and half have less. That number is only $121,000. That feels much more realistic, doesn't it? It is still a decent amount of money, but it is something a regular person can actually achieve. Now, things get really interesting when we break this down by age. If you are under 35 and you feel like you are falling behind, I have some good news for you. The median net worth for people under 35 is just $13,900. Yes, you heard that right. Less than $14,000. This makes total sense when you think about it. If you are in your 20s or early 30s, you are probably just starting your career. You might be paying off student loans. You probably haven't bought a house yet. You are just figuring things out. But there is one factor that changes everything. It is a massive divide in the data. Home ownership creates a giant gap in wealth. According to the Federal Reserve, homeowners have a median net worth of $255,000. Do you know what the median net worth is for renters? It is only $6,300. That is not a typo. The difference is nearly $250,000. This happens because a mortgage is basically a forced savings plan. Every month you pay it, you own a little more of your home. Plus, the value of the house usually goes up over time. Renters, on the other hand, are just paying someone else's mortgage. They aren't building any equity for themselves. As we move into the mid-30s and 40s, the numbers start to jump. For the 35 to 44 age group, the median net worth hits $91,000. At this stage, careers are more stable. People are making more money and contributing more to their retirement accounts. But this is also the age of high stress. Kids are expensive. Mortgages are heavy. There is a huge temptation to upgrade your lifestyle every time you get a raise. This is the age where many people feel like they should have more saved, but they are still trying to balance today's needs with tomorrow's goals. Does that sound familiar? By the time people reach 45 to 54, the median net worth climbs to $168,000. This is often the peak earning period. Mortgages are being paid down. Retirement planning becomes a lot more serious. But watch out. Lifestyle inflation is a silent wealth killer at this age. People feel like they have earned the right to nicer cars and fancy vacations. While you should enjoy your hard work, these choices can really hurt your long-term security if you aren't careful. Between 55 and 64, the median net worth reaches $212,000. Retirement isn't a distant dream anymore. It is a reality. This is when the power of compounding really starts to show for those who invested early. When people hit the traditional retirement age of 65 to 74, the median net worth peaks at $266,000. But then something strange happens. For the group age 75 and older, the number actually drops to $254,000. This is the only time the numbers go backward. But don't worry, it isn't necessarily a disaster. Think about it logically. At some point, you are supposed to spend the money you saved. What is the point of building wealth if you never enjoy it? Many people at this age are finally taking those dream trips or helping their grandkids with college. The goal is balance. You want to use your wealth to enjoy your life without running out of funds. Now, let me share a secret that might change how you think about your entire life. Net worth is a great tool, but it doesn't tell the whole story. Imagine someone with a net worth of $5 million. Sounds amazing, right? But what if $4.5 million of that is tied up in a giant mansion they can't afford to keep? They are still working 60 hours a week just to pay the electricity bill. Now imagine someone else with a net worth of only $300,000. But that entire amount is invested in things that pay them every single month. Their expenses are low, and their investments cover all their bills. Who is actually richer? The person with the big house who is stressed out, or the person with less money but total freedom? This is why focusing only on a net worth number can lead you down a wrong path. What matters most is the relationship between your passive income and your living expenses. If your investments pay for your life, you have achieved something better than a high net worth. You have achieved true freedom. So, how do you actually get there? How do you beat these average numbers? The steps are actually quite simple, but they require a lot of discipline. First, you have to kill your debt. Every dollar you owe is a dollar working against you. High-interest debt like credit cards will absolutely destroy you. Paying off a card with 20% interest is like getting a guaranteed 20% return on your money. No investment in the world can beat that consistently. The second step is to put your money into things that actually grow. Buy assets, not toys. The wealthy understand that every dollar is like a little soldier. You want your soldiers out there working to bring more soldiers home. This is the magic of compounding. The first $100,000 is the hardest to save. It feels like a mountain. But once you get there, it gets easier. The money starts doing the heavy lifting for you. The third step is to control your spending without being miserable. You don't have to live like a monk. Just be intentional. Don't increase your spending every time your income goes up. This is how people get stuck in the rat race even when they make a lot of money. Finally, remember that building real wealth takes a long time. We live in a world that wants everything right now. But wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. The people with those impressive numbers didn't get there overnight. They made boring decisions for a long time. They chose index funds over flashy stocks. They stayed in their modest homes instead of upgrading. They ignored what people said on social media. There is a huge difference between looking wealthy and actually being wealthy. People will finance a $60,000 truck just to look successful while they have nothing in the bank. Meanwhile, the millionaire next door is driving an old car and wearing basic clothes. Guess who sleeps better at night? Don't let the Instagram economy fool you. You see the vacation photos, but you don't see the credit card interest. You see the new car, but you don't see the lack of emergency savings. Many people are just spending their way to poverty while trying to look like they made it. If you are saving money and avoiding bad debt, you are already winning. Even if your net worth feels small right now, you are ahead of a huge part of the population. Building wealth is a mental game. It is about saying no to looking rich today so you can actually be rich tomorrow. It is not always glamorous, and it won't get you a lot of likes at a party, but it works with mathematical certainty. Start where you are today. Be consistent with the basics. Let time do the work. Your future self will be so glad you made the boring choice today. Thank you for spending this time with me at Siraz Patwari. You have the power to change your financial future. Let's do it together.